my interest in art, it occurred early. And I have to tell this quick little story because it's a major turn for me as I look back on it, especially. I was in the library, and I'm in the 5th grade. I was reading, and I felt somebody pull my ear up as I stood up on my tiptoes. And this lady teacher marched me up to my room, up stairs, up another flight of stairs into my classroom, took me to my desk, wooden desk with the inkwells and that sort of desk. And she pointed at a carving in the table, and she said, "Did you do that?" And it was my name, Bill Johnson, deeply carved in that wooden table. I had to admit that I did that. And she was irate about that. So the punishment was for me to go into her office and sit by her desk the rest of the day with a pad of paper tell her, and by writing it down, what I had done, why it was wrong, and what I was going to do about it. I couldn't think of a thing to write all day, and the children, my buddies, would go by in the classroom and look in and see me there. That was the punishment. So I went home that night and picked up a piece of watercolor paper. I made a painting, watercolor painting, of our swimming hole in the river. And I had the boulder there, the diving board, 3 or 4 guys jumping in, and big trees, and it's a wonderful spot. And I thought she'd enjoy that because I enjoyed that. And I took it into her the next morning, and she looked at it at the table at her desk, and she turned around and hugged me. Tight, full hug. And she said, "That is so beautiful." And the other teachers came over who were going to their classes, and they patted me on the back and told me I was a good kid. And I was suddenly forgiven. I went back to my class and I said, "I've discovered a power of art. All I did was make a drawing for this lady, and she turned into this wonderful person who thought I was wonderful." The painting did that. And for all those times on, I kept drawing and drawing. I said, "That's a power." Pretty good idea. So 20 years later, after this incident, she retired and invited me and my brother Carl and my sister Mary Lou to join the group that was celebrating her retirement. It was a rather large group. It was in the old school. And she brought to that gathering that painting. And as she gave her remarks, she took that painting and she put it up on the wall behind her and commented that it was one of the more meaningful things in her life. And I couldn't believe it. Here, my brother and I are running a business, Johnson and Roy, and we were busy, and lo and behold, this point came up, and even Carl gave me a hug. My brother. So it was a unique event in my life.